I don't even want to talk about it for real. But that's besides the point, man. Gotta be positive. You know, this man done skims his way to 1.6 billion, folks. Billion off Yahoo accounts. Like, how do you even? How? We about to find out. We really about to find out though. Cause how?
A Nigerian Instagram influencer who posted
He's a
pictures of his
Nigerian
lavish
Instagram
lifestyle could spend the
user.
next 20 years in a prison cell. Ramon
Oh, he
Abbas,
caught,
aka Hush Puppy, has pleaded guilty to
I
money
never heard of
laundering
this man.
in a U.S. federal court.
Ramon Abbas, also known as Hush Puppy,
let me put my phone on silent.
was a millionaire Instagram influencer who was successful enough to live in the Versace Hotel.
A Versace? There's a Versace hotel? There's a Versace? There's a Versace? There's a Versace hotel? Are you serious? Duh. Are you serious? The things you learn, man. The things you learn. Man. You learn something new every day for real.
Showing his lavish lifestyle.
You learn something new every day.
5-star hotel home. I mean, just imagine living in a 5-star hotel, the Versace Hotel.
He lived in the Versace
afford
hotel.
One night in a place like this, let alone the amount it must cost to become a resident.
See, in my last video, I said he looked like Phantom. I take that back. I'm saying my last video like I'm about to post. I'm not about to post that. Just forget I even said anything.
Ray was living.
The last video I tried to record, I said he looked like
Everyone
Phantom.
thought he was successful from developing real estate. He was powerful, and he could pay for just about anything his mind could imagine. But his whole world came crashing down back in 2020 when the Dubai SWAT team raided the Palazzo Versace Hotel. They kicked in his front door as he slept, woke him up, arrested him, and took everything. His cars, clothes.
He probably was like, man, they finally got
the potential victim email addresses.
Man, I can't believe
all 2
this.
million of them. The previous year, back in 2019, Ray gave a tour of his home in the Palazzo Versace Hotel, showcasing his designer clothes, luxury vehicle collection, and no less than 4 jacuzzis. He described
4
jacuzzis,
jacuzzis,
money coming from a poor background. He spoke, "My heart is pure. I sleep good at night. When something good happens to me, I know it's because I did good, not because somebody promised me money that I did not work for, or money that I don't deserve." Which is a crazy sentiment coming from someone who literally obtained their wealth through email scams, but more on that later.
I'm just about to say that, like, bro, what are you talking about?
Taxi driver, and his mother sold bread on the streets.
His mother sold bread
Ray dreamed of a
again.
better life, and when he grew old enough, he started his own business.
But how much was she selling this bread for, though? Like, she wasn't trying to get back off these people? Never mind. They probably could barely afford the bread she was selling, yeah?
Reselling designer clothes out of the back of his car. In the early 2000s, cyber cafes began popping up across Nigeria.
Was it
Many
real,
people
though?
flocked to them, initially as a form of entertainment, but these cafes quickly became a way to make money, quick money, through
Really?
crimes, cyber
Of
crimes,
course, of
fake
course.
checks, and romance scams. Ray and his team used Yahoo accounts to run their scams, which earned them the name the Yahoo Boys. They would
The
then
Yahoo
spend
Boys
days,
is
weeks, and
crazy.
months conning them out of cash. Ray essentially formed a scamming dream team and quickly rose to success. But then Nigerian security forces began cracking down on cyber criminals. Any young man at the time with a smartphone became a target, and due to these circumstances, Ray and his team decided to move to Malaysia to get around more sophisticated internet architecture and law enforcement agencies that were less strict on cyber crime. While Ray was there, he strived to be the best, and due to his drive and entrepreneurial spirit, he propelled himself from a shack to a penthouse. It was there in Malaysia where Ray became Hush Puppy. Hush Puppy started to become well known as a very wealthy guy who posted a lavish lifestyle with motivational quotes on how to escape the rat race with hard work, sacrifices, investments, and time. And as his profits began to skyrocket, he began splurging on luxury goods, such as a luxurious vehicle fleet, as well as luxury watches and clothing articles. At his peak, over 3 million people were watching him flaunt his custom Rolls Royce and flights on private jets.
Like, bro, you was false flagging, bro. Talking about hard working, bro. You were scamming. You were scamming. I mean, I ain't taking away from the fact that the man had bread,
to an all-expense
but
trip to the Ritz-Carlton
it wasn't
as
his.
a VIP guest of Louis Vuitton. Fendi also invited Ray to come dine with society's elites, and at one event, the Kuala Lumpur branch of Versace hosted him. And fellow Instagrammer Samson Oyokunle presented him with gifts for being the store's.
So what was he saying? Like, what was his excuse for getting the money? What was his excuse? Like, you know, what was his cover up? Is he gonna? Hopefully, he get into that.
Customer. And in one event, Hush Puppy accused rapper Fino of wearing fake watches. This prompted singer Casey to post, "You have no credibility, no known source of income, and yet you come on social media to attack."
No known source of income. 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 Are you serious? No wonder he got.
Like hardworking Nigerian musicians with traceable wealth. What do you do for a living? What is your talent? How do you make your money?
Right.
What brand do you represent? Nigeria's Economic and Financial Crimes Commission needs to start paying more attention to detail. Hush Puppy shared every trip, meal, and shopping bag with his dedicated followers. But of course, he never shared information about how he specifically achieved his success and extravagant lifestyle.
That's how you know
he's
scamming.
Referred to real estate development, but nobody was buying it. So how was he actually making his money? Email scams and romance scams can be good for a few thousand here, a few thousand there. But Hush Puppy was clearly pulling in millions. But the true source of Hush Puppy's income came from compromised business emails. Like many others, Ray realized that millions weren't going to come from scamming individuals. He had to scam multi-million-dollar companies. Scams that are so lucrative.
Are you serious?
40% of funds that are stolen through fraud, right, which cost governments about $1.8 billion annually. Despite this, we don't hear about these scams.
Are you serious?
Now do we? And usually this is because it is incredibly embarrassing for the companies that are involved. A typical BEC scam involves hacking into a corporate email, which can be done through phishing if the company has very relaxed security measures. The scammers will then wait and watch for weeks until a large invoice comes in. At this point, they can intercept the invoice and mock up one nearly identical to the real invoice, with the bank details changed to those of their own account. They also created fake websites, businesses, phone hotlines, and
15 mil.
Which all was a part of
15 mil.
Anyone who made
oh my god!
The details are legitimate. Once the money hits the account, it is then quickly redistributed to multiple mule accounts, then converted into Bitcoin, used to invest into physical assets such as gold or silver, which will then launder the money and prevent the bank as well as the account owner from calling.
They gotta be smart.
For example, in 2019, a New York law firm needed to send payment of over $920,000 to a client who refinanced on a piece of real estate. Before wiring the money, the paralegal emailed to confirm where the money should be sent. Unknown to her, this email was intercepted, and soon she received a fax telling her to send the money to a different account. Naturally, she checked to make sure this information was right by calling the number provided in the fax. Her call was answered, and the man on the other end was able to confirm the confidential details.
He put a picture.
She then sent the money to the new account, which of course didn't belong to her client.
No.
Instead, to Raymond Abbas. Crimes of this scale cannot be done. They cannot be run by an individual. They require a network. You need false bank accounts, which requires money mules who are oftentimes unwilling participants who are talked into opening new bank accounts through a romance scam. You need fake websites, which requires website coding knowledge. You need to gain access to email accounts, which requires credential stuffing or efficient phishing techniques. You also need to know how you're going to go about laundering the funds to make it appear as legitimately earned revenue. Plus, you need amazing OPSEC to keep you safe. Raymond Abbas had all that and more. He was essentially the Michael Jordan of the scam world.
If he had all of that, how did he get caught?
He had a large number of connections as well across the globe, including a Canadian money launderer named Caleb Alamari. He was usually responsible for transferring the cash into Ray's accounts, and he worked with him on some of his largest scams. Their most high-profile heist was at the expense of the Bank of Valletta in Malta, where communications through Snapchats, the pair attempted to organize the distribution of 13 million euros. Then, posing as the regulators, they sent phishing emails to the Maltese bank where an employee fell for it, which then granted Ray and Caleb access to the bank's secured payment system, where they were able to send out millions of euros in undetected payments.
Do these companies not tell them? Do these companies not have any training? Look, I work at Metro Market. They even tell us if anybody calls up here or come up there or anything, if it's not a manager at our store, no. How is it that he fell for this? Why didn't he go get his manager? Why didn't he? I don't know. I ain't even gonna say all that, because maybe he was the manager and he fell for it. which is wild if that's what happened. But I just also honestly, bro, when you get the money, see, I want to say being greedy is what got him caught, but I don't even know that yet.
Ray Hushpuppi's role was to find bank accounts that were able to take deposits of millions of dollars without any blocks, without any holds, and quickly launder it before it's recalled by the bank.
I was gonna ask about that. How was he supposed to get the money? How was he supposed to get that big of amount of money in somebody's account? But that makes sense.
Unfortunately for Ray and his associates, they were not able to move the money around in time, and the bank was able to recover most of the missing funds. When the story hit the news, Caleb took a screenshot and sent it to Ray. He simply replied, "Damn." Going about his day unfazed, Ray then posed head to toe in Fendi while leaning up against a $160,000 vehicle with the caption, "Bought myself a new Bentley Bentayga for Valentine's. The best way to celebrate the season of love." In another scam operation, him and another entrepreneur named Juma conned a Qatari businessman out of $1.1 million. This person hoped to go to school in Qatar and needed a $15 million loan to fund the project. As this was just a bit more than his bank was willing to lend, he hired a financial advisor who probably Googled $1 million loans and landed on Juma's scam website. Together, Ray and Juma presumed false identities and spent months convincing the businessman that they could arrange the loan for various six-figure fees. Every time their victim became worried about the money not materializing, Ray and Juma would then double down and demand the fees be paid, which will then release the loan. In a final ploy, they hired Vincent Chipuzu, who set up a fake Wells Fargo website and an automated hotline. When the businessman rang the phone, he was informed that the $15 million was finally in his account. However, required a $575,000 withholding tax to get the money out of the U.S. It was at this point that Caleb started petitioning for a larger share, and when Ray shut him down, he went to the client to expose the scam. Naturally, this pissed Ray off, so he messaged a man named
he got backdoored. Actually, he didn't get backdoored. But dude from Canada got greedy, and Ray was like, "Bro, watch out, bro. You just a middleman." He just telling you just a middleman, bro. You gonna take what you get, and you don't have a fit. I don't know why I'm looking over there, but you're not gonna have a fit, you know? That's basically what he just told him.
To experience the worst beating of his life. But Abba wasn't a thug. In fact, he was a police commissioner. Ray had just requested a beating for hire from a police commissioner. He then followed up with, "Please, sir, I want to spend money to send this boy to jail. Let him go for a very long time." And of course, with all the corruption in Nigeria and stuff, Abba was more than willing to oblige and replied to Ray with the details to his Nigerian bank account. Once the money arrived in Abba's accounts, Caleb was coincidentally arrested, and Ray was sent a picture of Caleb in his cell. Abba even updated Ray when Caleb's family arrived with a cash bribe to have him freed. They must think this is a normal arrest, which is why they think money can have him removed. Ray then wrote back, "No money can remove him here." Funny thing about Ray is that he hired Caleb to help him, to assist him in the laundering process. But this was something he himself massively overlooked in his own personal life. His pursuit to Instagram fame and the desire to show off his newfound wealth and luxurious lifestyle meant anyone paying attention could get a sneak peek into the life of Hushpuppi. And you can bet your bottom dollar that more than a few of those 2.8 million Instagram followers were FBI agents working to bring him down. Unsurprisingly, the FBI was suspicious that Ray's source of income wasn't legitimate, but they had no clue who he was until his birthday, where he showed a photograph of the gifted cake that he received from Gucci, which clearly showcased his date of birth. It was with that information alone, FBI agents were able to track him to a visa application, which then led to his true identity and a much clearer look into his personal finances. It quickly became obvious to them that Ray was a prolific money launderer, and they placed him under surveillance, hoping to gather something concrete to use for his arrest. Unfortunately, the crime that brought him down was also his most successful: the payout from the New York law firm. After the $920,000 hit the Chase bank account in October of 2019, Ray scrambled to split it up, sending $396,000 to a Canadian account. Ray then asked one of his associates to confirm if the payment had arrived, but they were just getting off a plane and had to wait a little bit longer to get better service in order to take a screenshot of the account. Then, just moments later, as he walked into the airport, the FBI were waiting right there and placed him under arrest. It was at this point that Abba should have disappeared, as Ray's associate had just been arrested with a phone that contains damning evidence that ties directly back to Ray Hushpuppi at gmail.com. But incredibly, Ray and Abba both seemed unconcerned as they continued on with life. Ray posted luxury shopping sprees over on Instagram, and driving luxury vehicles through the desert of Dubai. Then on June 8th of 2020, while Ray was asleep in his Versace hotel home, a Dubai SWAT team flooded into his home, placing him under arrest while they seized 37 phones, 21 laptops, $7 million in luxury vehicles, $40 million in cash, and a list of over
40 million cash
associated with potential victims. The Dubai authorities
he said 40 million cash.
They released this stylized short film of the arrest, titled Operation Fox Hunt 2. Shortly after his arrest, Ray was flown to Chicago, where he stood trial in November of 2022. He pled guilty to his crimes against the Qatari businessman, the Maltese bank, and several others that amounted to over $24 million.
They found 40 million on him.
And sentenced to 35 months in federal prison, as well as he was ordered to pay $1.7 million in restitution. Officials described him as, quote, one of the most prolific money launderers in the world. His doubters were in awe, and his haters celebrated his downfall. The Dubai police went themselves in wardrobe, and Ray can no longer wear his Gucci and Fendi tracksuits.
I always wonder what the police be doing with that stuff. Like, what do they be doing with that stuff when they take it? Like, what is it that y'all do? Y'all give it back to the brands or something? But anyways, man, that's gonna be the end of that video. Hope y'all enjoyed that. And I ain't gonna lie. I need to hold on.
I cover many scams.
I need to make a Reddit or a Discord for people to send me videos and stuff, because yeah, I'm doing reactions from here on. I'm doing it all, baby. You know what I'm saying? Nah, peace out, y'all boys. Y'all have a good one.